It was gathered that the APC might be having an uphill task in fielding a standard bearer for the party as attempts to reach a consensus on the presidential candidate has hit the rocks for the umpteenth time. Some APC party leaders seem frightened that not having a party flag bearer with few months to the elections might just turn out a political advantage for the PDP, who has fielded their own sole consensus candidate in the person of President Goodluck Jonathan. Now we met with a member of the Board of Trustees for the APC. He has also served in 4 constitutional conferences in Nigeria. Alhaji Bubakar Galadima. It says the APC is on a winning track for the 2015 elections due to what he calls the failure of Mr. President to stamp out insurgency. Alhaji Galadima also lambasted the Independent National Electoral Commission for disenfranchising many Nigerians due to its failure to properly distribute the permanent voters card. He said there might be a political undertone to this. Take a listen.
The first level is an attempt by the party or the aspirants themselves to reach an understanding among themselves. If they could go into a room and come out one day and tell us, look, we've all forgone our interest and we are promoting one of us, Mr. So-so-so-so, is being adopted by all of us as the consensus candidate. So be it.
Now, this seems to be alluding to statements by some bookmakers, even PDP supporters that are a bit critical about your party, that the implosion in APC may linger till the end of, till the eve of the elections.
Well, Benga, let me say categorically that there is no rancor whatsoever within the party. And you can see the fraternity and brotherhood that is being used by all the aspirants, especially at the presidential level. We attend rallies together. They attend declaration of each other on most occasions together. They talk, hold meetings, and perfect strategies on how not only to arrive at a candidate, but on how to defeat the PDP.
Now, could you give us the details about the caucus meeting that was held in the APC concerning persuading some would-be presidential aspirants of the APC to step down for the other?
I don't think there was any caucus meeting in this party, which I attended being a member, that the issue of Mr. A stepping down for Mr. B was discussed.
Now, when you consider the nature of the APC, now fundamentally one can say the party is being merged together by political die-hard migrants. So how do you think you can achieve, believing the statements that they're going to support one another should a winner emerge? Aren't you wary of such statements?
Things that bring rancor among candidates are known. As far as the APC would avoid those pitfalls that is reminiscent of the PDP, as far as the APC will lay a level playing ground or field for its aspirants without showing favoritism to any one of them, once the primaries are done freely, openly, and transparently, I want to assure you that all these candidates, patriotic Nigerians, as we call them, about 5 or 6 of them, would subscribe and accept the verdict of the people. If there is any rancor, it means that the party leadership itself has tried to cut corners or showing preference for one candidate or the other. I am experienced enough to know that.
Now let's look at the issue of the speaker's defection, Alhaji Aminu Tambuwal, and bookmakers are saying that the APC has this attitude of waiting in the wings for a disgruntled member or a frustrated member or someone who is losing from the PDP to make a big catch in the APC. Could you explain why this is so?
Tambuwal is a great Nigerian, a patriot, who had left the ruling party and joined forces with the opposition because he believes that his former party, the PDP, are not working in the interest of Nigerians. Therefore, he is prepared to lose everything, maybe including his life.
Should it be a do or die for the APC?
It is not about APC. I'm talking to you about situation. It's not APC. He decided to join forces with the people. He wants to fight on behalf of on the side of the people, not on the side of his office or where his bread is buttered. So it would be unfair to him or to any other person.
Now, what are the challenges with President Goodluck Jonathan's administration? I need you to put things in clear perspective.
Are you happy as a Nigerian or any listener watching us that he opens pages of newspaper, 100 people are killed, 200 people are killed, this town has fallen to insurgents, that town has fallen into insurgents, and the military are not living up to the expectations of their oath of office?
Now, you've raised the issue of insurgency, but some people have also accused the APC of being sympathetic to insurgents.
You are in this country and you are a media man. When the president himself was quoted of having said that there are Boko Haram in his government, some of his ministers are Boko Haram, some of the military are Boko Haram, he has said this. It's on record. You can't deny it. He can't deny it. But that is not the issue. The issue, Benga, is if we are promoting Boko Haram as APC states, namely Adamawa, Borno, Yobe, as having been the epicenter of this Boko Haram or insurgency, because those guys never called themselves Boko Haram.
But we're talking about insurgency.
I'm coming now. So what we will do to annoy Jonathan is to attack our own people and sack them from their villages, from their towns, so that we disenfranchise them, where when we need their votes most, they will not be there to vote for us. It's because we so much hate Jonathan. That is why we go to school and blow our own children.
Now,
that is why I'm coming now.
Let's put things into right perspective. You said that the president even pointed out to members of his government as he accused them.
Listen to me now. Listen.
Couldn't you see that as an internal cleansing mechanism on the part of the presidency and even the sincerity of fighting this insurgency?
So you are now telling me that Mr. President is an incapable person. He knows the Boko Haram in his system, in his government, in the military, and yet he could not even flush them out. So if we want to discredit Jonathan, or if we want to disenfranchise Jonathan, where shall we go to do these activities? Where we should go is the southeast and south-south, where he scores 101% of the total votes. That is where we will be having activity, not in our own territory, to kill our own people, to disenfranchise our own supporters. It means there is more to it than meets the eye.
Okay, now let's put things once again in the right perspective. If you are saying the APC is innocent and they are not sympathetic to the issue of insurgents, what has the APC done, apart from criticizing the government, to find a lasting solution to insurgency in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Let me say that that have sat down before you here, delivered a lecture on the 28th of September 2012 at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Jos, a 22-page paper that were used by the international community for them to make their minds as to who is responsible. And I sent copies of this lecture to Mr. President, to all the service chiefs, all the security agencies in this country. And everything I have said in that paper, it is as if I had what you call wahi, or what do you call it, from God. Everything is just happening as I have enumerated them in that paper.
Now, when we look at some rhetoric, some statements by some APC leaders on insurgency, statements, inciting statements, inflammable statements like the monkey and the baboon will be soaked with blood and threats to make the government ungovernable. How would you exonerate such rhetoric from the present realities we're having now?
You do not speak Hausa, so you cannot interpret the proverb in Hausa as you have done.
No, but this is English.
It's not English. Who said so?
I have not spoken Hausa.
The man who you accuse of having said that spoke in Hausa. He didn't speak in English.
I only said...
I said the man you are accusing, I didn't also mention any name. The man you are accusing spoke in Hausa, just as they accused him of having said that Muslims should vote for Muslims, Christians should vote for Christians. That is mischief, cheap blackmail, because there has never been any government in the history of Nigeria that brought religion to the fore of public domain as this government is doing. Can you now, you have a Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso presidency, or an Atiku presidency, or a Sam Indaya presidency, and they go to the church or to the mosque and make national policy statements in the house of God. What would Nigerians have said? We are not fools. People who are bred of ideas, people who don't know their left from right, use religion, tribalism, and culture to blindfold ordinary people. The issue is, what is it? What did you put on the table? What have you done on the ground?
Now, this seems highly inconsistent with the body language and the nuances of the president, because he publicly declared recently of his presidential ambition, and you can't say the large working committees of the Presidential Declaration Committee is a child's play. So we will need a clear fact that states otherwise for Nigerians to believe what you're saying.
All those hovering around Jonathan, where were they when we, Buba Galadima, Pastor Tunde Bakari, Wole Shoyinka, openly demonstrated Save Nigeria in Abuja that made it possible for Jonathan to become president? Where were they? All of them. We made Jonathan the president of Nigeria, not any other person, not those hovering around him. So we have a stake.
Now let's look at some other issues. Now the distribution of the PVC cards for elections is generating heated controversy now. What's your comments?
Would you with all sincerity say that it should generate any controversy? Does it need to? It's because those handling the issues are not sincere people. And they know that. As I sit before you, I can qualify in every material sense to be a statesman in this country. I have gone to the place 10 times to obtain my PVC voters card. I'm disenfranchised. And Jega should hear that. I disenfranchised. I told you my history. Do I ought to be disenfranchised? Is it because I am Buba Galadima?
Well,
that does not, I'm coming.
Prove that this is targeted towards you. Is it something personal?
It is our belief that it is targeted towards our party. Because all this rancor, when you look at them, they are only coming from APC controlled states. There is no PDP state that has, as of today, no PDP state that has complained that 1% of its citizens did not get their PVC voters card. In Lagos, where you are from, you should be shouting louder than me. 1.4 million people were just thrown to the lagoon. And it's deliberate. And they will not bring the PVC voters card. I assure you, I can beat my chest. He will not bring it. They were shouting.
You are preempting.
Preempting. Let him prove me wrong now. It will be in your interest if he proves me wrong. isn't it? So, voters card, additional polling booths are all gimmicks meant to blindfold us. But what both the Electoral Commission and the government does not understand is that they cannot use the tricks of yesterday for tomorrow's solution.
And that will be all on this episode of Roadmap 2015. You may send your comments on our different social media platforms showing on your screen. Many thanks for watching. Join us next week for another exciting episode of the program on Channels Television. I'm Binga Ashiru saying goodbye.